massive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all of that good stuff. Before we dive into today's show, guys, don't forget to check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link in the description, people. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off your Chelsea kits. You lot don't want to miss out. You can get your names and numbers on the back. That's Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link in the description, guys. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off your order. Right, let's dive into things. In today's video, people, we're going to be covering more about the protest. The protest has now hit the mainstream media. We've got John Obi Mikel speaking out against the Chelsea ownership and sharing his thoughts on the planned protest before the Southampton game. And we've got the news on Dean Huijsen, the Bournemouth centre-back who Chelsea are interested in. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed there is a £50 million release clause in his contract active this summer. But let's start with the protest then, because obviously, as we know, there's a lot of discontent surrounding the ownership right now. Chelsea fans are not happy with the current situation, are not happy with the way the club's being run. And they want to voice their discontent towards the ownership. And that is obviously happening at 6 p.m. on the 25th of February outside Bovril Gate, Stamford Bridge, before the Southampton game. Now, there hasn't been an awful lot of coverage about this in the mainstream media, but this has now hit the mainstream media, guys, because Bobby Vincent has done an article on the protest, and he has spoken to the Chelsea Forum, one of the guys, one of the people involved in planning the protest, and he's done a little interview and has provided a bit more context behind the protest and what the planned message is, which is really important because I think there's a lot of confliction between what the actual message is. People are concerned about what the message is. Is there going to be mixed messaging? Are people going to be talking about vivid seats? You know, this is not about vivid seats. This is about trying to direct and influence change and voice dissatisfaction at what's going on right now. And in the Football London article, guys, a group of Chelsea supporters are planning to protest against Clear Lake Capital and the club's ownership group ahead of this month's Premier League game with Southampton at Stamford Bridge. There is growing unrest among fans of the club's model coming into question. Chelsea Forum are one of the numerous organisers of the planned protest, and Football London caught up with the group to talk about what was in the works. They said the protest is about change and hopefully causing the owners to have pressure applied on them by their investors, as it will hurt their public image. The end game is change the model or sell up. Now that's really important, guys. The end game, and this is coming from one of the primary organisers. The end game here is they want to get the model changed. This is not about forcing the ownership to sell at this point in time. This is about getting the model changed. All the energy right now is being focused on getting the model changed or sell up. Also, their terrible treatment of staff, players, and stripping of all the club's former assets. The protest will be a peaceful one with lots of fans and a few banners so that the fans can have their voices heard by the club. As of this moment, the protest will not continue inside the ground. There are already a few hundred fans on board, but we expect these numbers to rise considerably before Monday. We want to highlight what the American ownership is doing to kill football here in the UK, with exploitation and money being their priority. Now, it's all very well, and this is great, right? And there's a clear, concise message there. And it's really important that everyone turning up to the protest is fully on board and understands what the message is, because it will be highly embarrassing if fans get interviewed by the media or whatever, and they're putting across the wrong message. You know, it's about vivid seats. Oh, Bowley's a ticket tout. Oh, brown envelopes. All this and all that nonsense. You know, guys, we're going to make a change and we want to be serious about it. You've got to be clear and concise with your messaging and speak well and come across with good authority. You know, we don't want to be giving the media anything to deflect and try and somehow blame the fans for this, you know, on the media, to use it as a way to ridicule fans attending, because that's not helpful either, you know. And rightfully so, you could point out, well, why is the protest now? Why wasn't it after the summer transfer window? Why wasn't it after the January transfer window? Why wasn't it after Enzo Maresca got appointed in the summer? And those are all fair points, and those are questions that I don't really know the answers to. All I would say is that those are totally valid points, but at this point in time, in my opinion, it's better late than never. It's absolutely better late than never. The Chelsea Forum have given the concise message, the thoughts behind the protest, and the clear message that is trying to get put across. But it's also important to remember, guys, when people say, oh, why aren't the mainstream media covering this and whatnot? You can understand to a degree why, because journalists are present online. They see these things, and accusing journalists of being on the payroll, accusing journalists of being brown envelopes, that is not the way to get the media on side and back what the fans are doing. It just simply isn't. And so this is why people can say, oh yeah, brown envelope this, oh, people are on the club payroll or whatever, baseless accusations which come from absolutely nowhere. And if you want the media on side, guys, that's got to stop, because the media in this instance can absolutely be our friend here and absolutely help drive this forward and get the club aware of it. Because if it gets picked up by the media, if it's positive, if it's fans coming peacefully, making a point and putting that point across very well, the media will cover it and it will snowball from there, and the club will absolutely be aware of it. So that's why these sort of things need to stop. If you want the media on side, then those kind of accusations have to stop. Otherwise, this is going to be very difficult to get the momentum that it needs to effectively and positively influence change. So that is what I would say on that front. But it's great that it's been picked up by Bobby Vincent at Football London. Clear message from Chelsea Forum, as I said. And my only concern would be, right, is that a lot of people are vocal about this, and rightly so. My major concern is that when push comes to shove on the 25th of February, are these people actually going to turn up? Are they going to back their chap? Because it will be highly embarrassing if we have a similar turnout to previous protests. It'll be highly embarrassing, and goes to show that people actually aren't serious about making change. This protest feels like it's got more momentum behind it, absolutely. But if you are able to attend, guys, I cannot emphasize this enough, you must attend, because there's no point giving it the talk online, giving it the talk on social media, and then when push comes to shove and there's an opportunity to take action, you're found wanting. If you can turn up, you must turn up, because there is power in numbers, and protests can be very, very powerful, as seen by the Super League protest, as seen by the protest for Tottenham against Daniel Levy at the weekend before the United game. It was a 1,000-strong march. We need numbers, so you must turn up. Otherwise, it's going to be highly, highly embarrassing, and it's going to reflect very, very badly on the fan base. Very, very badly. So that's really important, guys. We also had Obi Mikel speaking out against the ownership, talking about, about winning. The pressure should always be on them. If they've come to Chelsea and they think it's just about making profits, they must win trophies or they can fuck off. And that's fair enough. But Mikel confuses me, because he speaks out against the ownership, and then he sees them and he's all friendly with them. He speaks out against the players. He criticizes the players, but then he's speaking about the protest on his podcast that came out on Monday, and he's saying, "Oh, John Mikel, I heard the fans are planning a protest. I'm sorry, this is not the right time to protest. The players need the fans right now, because this is a very difficult time." Like, he seems to be confused. Now, from a player perspective, I can absolutely understand it. Is it helpful to have that negativity surrounding the club before an important game where the fans are going to be very vocal, the fans are going to be having negative energy heading into the stadium? Is that conducive to help just getting behind the team and supporting the team in a must-win game for 90 minutes? I don't really know. But when is the right time? There isn't really a right time, guys. If you want change, you have to act now, and you have to act in the present. So for me, there is no right time, guys. There is no right time. We have still got Champions League to play for. You know, if we were to go to Aston Villa and somehow get a win or a draw, we beat Southampton, there's a chance to build some form of momentum. And we don't want the players to be caught in the crossfire here. We do not want the players to be caught in the crossfire here. But he's just confusing. He's just confusing because then he goes on to say, when things are not going right, it's my duty to say it. I can't just stay silent. Then I'm not helping the football club. If you're a Chelsea fan, don't accept what's going on is right. It's not. Your voice is needed. Our voice is needed. But then he's saying it's not the right time to have a protest. So there's kind of a conflicting, confusing message going on there. What is this guy on about? But there is still a chance to make top four, whether we think it's going to happen or not. And piling on negative pressure, guys, that's not going to help. That's not helping the team, and it's not helping the players. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting one there. But action needs to be taken. That's the most important thing on that front. And then in regards to a brief little bit of transfer news, guys. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed exclusively yesterday that Dean Huijsen's contract at Bournemouth includes a £50 million release clause. The clause is 100% confirmed as revealed in January. It will be valid from this summer. The 19-year-old defender is attracting top club interest after excellent performances at Bournemouth this season. We know that Chelsea are interested, but what I would say is, guys, is that we need an experienced centre-back. As much as I'd like to sign Dean Huijsen, as much as I think he's a top player, is adding a 19-year-old centre-back to our current pool of centre-backs, is that the right thing? You've already got Mamadou Sarr, a 19-year-old centre-back coming in from Strasbourg. Is signing another 19-year-old centre-back the right thing to do? If you're going to do it, you need to sell one of your existing centre-backs already, and you would have to sign Huijsen, and you'd have to sign another experienced centre-back. I don't think we're going to be signing two centre-backs. If you're going to sign a centre-back, guys, you go out and you get a top-level experienced centre-back. Because adding Huijsen to the mix as a 19-year-old doesn't help our leadership issues, doesn't help our issues at the back. So whilst it's a great deal and someone will absolutely sign him this summer and activate that clause, I would be against Chelsea doing it because it doesn't solve our issues at the back in terms of leadership and experience. We need to go and get that experience centre half, whoever that is. But if we do decide to do it, guys, then I don't really see our defensive issues improving at all next season because we're still going to be lacking that leadership and that leadership and experience at the back. You know, you can't ask a 19 and a 21-year-old to lead the defensive line for Chelsea Football Club. So, yeah, this is a great price. There's a great deal there for a club to be had. I'm sure Chelsea will be all over this and exploring it. But again, as we've been discussing, the model, etc., it needs to change. And this signing doesn't make sense. Go for an experienced centre-back or don't sign anyone. It's as simple as that. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on the latest Chelsea news. Make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. And we'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.